Guys, since this early morning, the capital rotation out of Bitcoin has finally begun. I will show you why Bitcoin is about to go much, much higher and where all the money is actually flowing right now. And we should also not forget that I have prepared so much more charts for here. We're going to talk about the US economy, what's happening there, and all these Bitcoin charts. Again, and many altcoins you're going to see. There is a lot to talk about, so definitely don't miss out on that, and let's go. Hi guys, thank you for tuning in here on this Wednesday. I have to mention directly, I will get any moment a delivery, so I have to run out when it comes. I have no clue when it's coming. They're gonna text me. I have here the chat open on my phone to see when they text me that they're in front of my house, and then I have to leave like for 30 seconds. You know, I will be straight away back, but I have to go then quick and pick it up. Regardless of that, let's talk about what's happening with the US market today. So we have here in a couple hours a core PPI and core year over year, and also core PPI month over month coming out, and then also here the normal PPI again year over year and month over month. Here we are expecting in the forecast 2.7, but I heard rumors that this will come in at 2.5, which would be much better, of course, because it's lower, and could prop again up a next major move, not only in Bitcoin, but also in altcoins. So because there is right now a massive rotation happening, and that is basically just the start of that rotation. But I have seen this morning when I looked at the charts and was like, oh wow, it's already actually happening, and was not expecting this so fast to, basically to unfold here, you know. So I was hoping that we have a little bit more time, but things are going here really fast right now. But regardless of that, these numbers should come in either lower than the forecast numbers or around the forecast. So here 0.2 month over month would be fine. Here in all the here in the month over month PPIs, and year over year should come in lower on all of them than forecasted. So, and again, that will definitely lead to a nice pump to the upside. The DXY is again getting closer to 99 points, but again, we are pulling back here today. If PPI comes out lower than expected, expect then also the DXY going here into lower levels. On the Bitcoin chart, here on the 4-hourly chart, we are above the 20 moving average. I want to remind you here what I said yesterday. I said if we close the 4-hourly candle above the 20 moving average, that is a continuation sign. We're gonna keep pushing from here into higher levels. That's why I opened yesterday on the second live stream Bitcoin trade. That is of course in profit right now. If you are still in that trade too, you are sitting here over $1,000 above the entry right now from where we have taken a trade roughly. So, and here the next major level that we need to look at is basically $118,900. Once we're breaking that, $120,000 is back on the map for us. On the daily chart, also here, really good sign that we are getting here a bounce candle within the Bollinger Band, and a candle that moves back to the upside, because it could have gone also the opposite way, where we come a little bit lower and actually go to $112,000, almost touching, we would have touched the middle band here of the Bollinger Band and would have gotten a strong bounce from there back to the upside. So that we are seeing here a bounce candle today is really bullish for us, and could signal also here further continuation within the Bollinger Band, as I pointed it out yesterday. Here the golden ratio, also here confluence for us that we are pushing higher. If the current daily candle closes above at least $118,100, we're gonna push higher. We're gonna fill that wick here all the way up to $123,200. So if you're in a Bitcoin position, definitely, guys, hold it. You know, there's no reason to sell it, and unless we are breaking below 100. Yeah, basically that low from yesterday here, $115,800. If we break below that, then I would consider de-risking or getting out of a position right now, but not before that. Until then, it's just upwards and onwards from here. On the lower time frames on the 15 minutes chart, so if you missed the entry all the way down here that was given yesterday, and there's a new entry for you. It's of course again a little bit more risky than the previous one, but it is basically the current price level where we are at. And then here that is your stop loss. And now let's see where the target is, because we are trading then this ascending triangle. So the ascending triangle target is all the way up here at $120,658. So here's your trade. So that is a scalp trade, 2.06% from current price levels more or less to the upside. So here I would use 25x, 25x on that trade would be absolutely fine. You are risking roughly 15% for a 50% move to the upside. And that's absolutely fine with a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio here on the chart. So, but you basically have to enter this right now. So I would not wait. Oh, wait, there. The doorbell rang. I will come back in a second. Okay, I'm back, guys. Coming back here. So now I'm all yours. Thank you that you actually stayed here. I see we did not really lose anybody. Thank you for so much for that. So let's keep going here. Yeah, so you can basically enter this from here right now. I would not wait that this maybe pulls back a little bit, because the stochastic is already turning around here, printing a buy signal in the next 7.5 minutes. RSI is flying. MACD will bounce off here with the trend line of the signal line and will continue to push higher. And here the overall pattern that I had lined out a couple of days ago, here this is basically what played out, So look at this, you can overlap that. I just moved a little bit aside that we can see better the candles, but this is basically what played out here. So, and that was given, I don't know, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, when, yeah, must have been 4 days ago, right? Yeah, 4 days ago was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Saturday was when I lined that out the first time. So yeah, highly accurate here. So if you want to take any of these trades, guys, do that on BloFin. You see here my BloFin positions, the altcoin positions that I have, they're exploding. Only Sui is a little bit underwater, but this is fine. Again, the more you trade, the more stuff you actually can get for free here. You can get a Rolex watch, an iPhone, a MacBook, an Apple Vision Pro. This is all guaranteed. You only need to hit these trading volume milestones, and then you're gonna get all these things. So there is a link, first of all, in the live chat, pinned in the live chat and also in the description. And once the stream is done, also in the pinned comment below, you're gonna find a link to sign up there. Plus, if you wanna be part of the $500 to $10,000 challenge, which is still going on, guys, so we are only up here right now, $1,200 roughly. You can still join that. You need to have at least $500 deposited in your BloFin account and signed up with the link that you find here in the description, live chat pinned, or in the comment pinned later after the stream, and send me then a message on Telegram or on Twitter, so that with your UID, so that we can verify that. And then we're gonna send you the link to join this Telegram channel. Now, when we're looking here on the 1 hourly time frame, remember what I said yesterday and the day before that, when you will have confirmation for continuation to the upside when we break this downward sloping trend line and leaving here this reaccumulation zone on the lower time frames. Now you see we are getting a little bit rejected from $118,300 on the lower end of that now potentially turned resistance area, because it was up here support until $119,400. When we broke that level, that whole area here turned into resistance, and now we are struggling to break back above that. But give it a couple of hours and we should be trading in that range here, potentially already higher than that, because the next major level that we need to break is $120,300. Once we're above that level, it's basically blue skies again here, into a new all-time high. Liquidation levels, we have here one major level to be taken out at 118,000, yeah, basically $119,000 almost. I believe that can get touched by today, especially if there is lower numbers than expected coming out on PPI that could lead to a small pump to the upside. I would just be careful with that pump because I think it will be a wick to the upside, basically what we saw yesterday here. Same thing, looked super bullish and then came straight back down. So something similar could be happening later around PPI, so watch out for that. But then, the same thing will repeat what we just saw here over the last couple hours. Goes up, comes back down, goes up again. And then we will target here the over-leveraged short liquidity. I think there's not yet enough liquidity stacked here that market makers are that interested to push it already up here. And I think they're just waiting, so they're waiting a little bit, let a little bit more liquidity be concentrated there, and then they will go for that. Because here also, when we look on the 2-week chart, so we see here definitely a lot of shorts coming in, all the way up to like $125,000 approximately. But here is only that small area, and here with a little bit of concentration. Maybe when we go to a weekly chart, let's see if it looks a little bit better. No, then we see here $115,000 still as a target. Doesn't make it much better. Last 3 days, not much better. Yeah, no. There's no high concentration yet in these higher areas. So therefore, I believe they gonna let it run a little bit before they're gonna send it there. But once we are breaking here above $119,400, we're gonna trigger a short squeeze, and that will get us definitely over $120,000 here into that next cluster to around $122,000. I don't believe that we go then immediately, with immediately I mean like potentially the same day, straight for a new all-time high. It might be a day or two after that it's actually happening. Now, let's talk about capital rotation, because it has something to do with altcoins. So you saw here that massive drop in the Bitcoin dominance yesterday. That was what I was pointing out, what I was looking out for when we were breaking, what was that? I think this low here is what I was talking about, if I remember correctly. So I think that was the one. So we are on the cusp of breaking this now. I have no problem with the current dominance candle here for today, that this is a doji candle, but I would expect by tomorrow another leg to the downside. I'm going to show you now in a moment why this is the most likely outcome. When we're going then into the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, you get here a small hint already. So I have to say it again, because we were so right about this. I said last week, if this weekly candle closes, the next one is gonna print a God candle into that resistance area here. So this is exactly what we are seeing right now, and that's why a lot of coins are exploding left, right, and center that we are holding, but it's mostly large caps. It's large caps because the rotation has just started. So in the rotation I'm talking about, if that's your first bull run, here is the ultimate game plan, how you can play the market and always make money. If you play it right and not use 100x leverage or all the time 25x leverage, you should not get liquidated and just keep printing money over and over and over again. The first phase is Bitcoin, and we had that now. We created an all-time high in Bitcoin, a new all-time high. Then after that, capital flows into Ethereum, and that's what we are seeing right now. That's why the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is pumping like crazy. And after that phase, it goes into large caps. So there are other layer ones like Solana, Sui, Injective, and others. And then we go into phase 4, and that's then a full-blown altcoin season where basically everything pumps left, right, and center. And that is the last phase where you have to start to take massive profits on your position and start to scale out. So, and what I actually looked at today, what gave me so much confidence that the rotation has actually started, was when I looked here at the money flow from USDT in the last 24 hours. And here you see most of the money went into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And not even Solana, so look, Solana is not even on here, so that just showed me that there's so much demand right now for Bitcoin and Ethereum that Solana is a little bit sidelined, and that is actually reflecting also in the Solana price. When you look at the price barely moved off Solana, while Ethereum is starting to rip here to the upside like crazy. So if you want to trade altcoins, guys, most of my altcoin trades are still happening here on a Bybit. As you can see on my Bybit trades, they're highly profitable, already almost 3,000 up on this Aptos trade. On my other trades, almost 100% up here. Currently, there is still $30,000 worth of sign up and deposit bonuses available. If you use the link in the description, there's a link in the description, and you can also get a $500 free airdrop position. Just want to mention that again because it's still going on. There's also a link for that in the description below. So now when we're looking at Ethereum, yesterday I told you guys I did not like here really that broadening rising wedge pattern that we are putting in here currently. Unless we are breaking this to the upside. So and today we are breaking it to the upside. We are touching now that massive resistance area all the way up here from starting 3,200 to $3,360 approximately. We could get a spike later coinciding with PPI and Bitcoin here to $3,360 approximately, here in the last longest bar on the VPVR. The moment that we are going above that volume bar and have 3 daily candles above that volume bar, you can blindly enter Ethereum on a 10x leverage trade. You will not get liquidated anymore because that level will turn into support and then Ethereum will start flying because that is the last area that is giving us currently resistance to move into higher levels. So there's nothing else stopping us anymore above here to fly to $4,000 really. You know, so even when I zoom out here, you can still see here, this is the longest area. There's not much resistance on the way here to $4,000 after that major level when we break that. So I will personally open a huge Ethereum trade live here with you guys again on potentially even 15x leverage. And just scale into that that position, you know. So because if we are getting a retest, let's say we go up to $3,600 and we get a retest at $3,360, I want to make sure that will not get liquidated because that there will be a retest of support of that level. Best case scenario, that is exactly the point where we're going to enter that on a retest and then it sends to the upside. So here short term, I see definitely on the 1 hourly chart a retracement, a small one, because the RSI is overbought, the stochastic is flatlining here in overbought territory, and the MACD is still printing. You know, so as long as, and here's something else that you need to understand in a bull market, as long as the MACD keeps printing and price action keeps moving to the upside and the RSI keeps moving higher, because we are not at the top yet here on the RSI. Look at this, we are at 78%. So that can still go up to like 86, 88% before we see any major correction. So there is still a little bit room left to go higher, but like I said, I don't see us going higher than $3,360. I think there is that's the end, you know. So that's the end short term, where we have to come down, cool down, find support at around $3,000, and then continue into higher levels. Here on the monthly chart, really interesting. What I saw earlier, what I wanted to show you while I was going through multiple charts here, old Ethereum charts. So if you look at this, then we are waiting for a breakout above $3,520 roughly right now. Potentially still happening this month, not next month, at least touching this downward sloping resistance line of this symmetrical triangle. So and once we're breaking this out, just to give you some perspective where that target lies, that target is at $7,640 for Ethereum here to the upside. I don't believe that Ethereum actually is going to stop there. I believe we go much, much higher this run with the ETF inflows that are happening on Ethereum for the first time, staking happening, Ethereum being deflationary, so much things going into this right now that make me think that $7,640 might be just half the price where we are actually going to. So potentially $15,000. My target for Ethereum this run is between $12,000 and $15,000. So just to give you some perspective here, where we are at in terms of the Ethereum price, you know, so you are definitely not too late to build here spot positions to the upside. So, but I also want to mention, like, these numbers, like $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, they will either happen by the end of the year or next year. I don't see that happening before that. On the other hand, more short term here on the 3-day chart, we have here an Ethereum Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern playing out. Currently, we are in the LPS stage, and the LPS stage also here you can see that this is stopping maximum at $3,500. It can be lower. So just want to point that out here. So I drew this from hand. So that can, like I said, also stop all the way down here. Then here the pullback is a little bit more like this to the current levels. And then we go up here, next LPS stage with SOS, and then breakout into a new all-time high here past $5,000. So that Wyckoff pattern is right now highly accurate because we have already formed so much of that. Yeah, and there is basically nothing speaking against that we are not getting this, you know, so it's just a matter of time, you know. But also here you see even a break, if we would follow this here by the time horizon that is laid out, you know, it would be early next year where we would be around $5,000. Honestly, I think it will happen faster, you know, so, but I needed space on the chart to draw that, you know, so, but in my opinion, somewhere between, what do we say, September, October, I believe that Ethereum will go past $5,000, somewhere in that range. Now, for Solana tries to make a move here right now, but again, Solana is massively lagging behind everything else. While Solana went up from yesterday here 4%, I'm trading coins that are up since yesterday 8% or even more, and that are also layer ones, you know. So and Ethereum also way outperforming here Solana right now. So, but if we can close above $165, that might be another good level for you to open a new position, to trade this again into $180, $207. These are the targets. We are also forming here this W pattern. So, and the target of the W pattern is $180 more or less. So here again, a lot of confluence that that is one of the next targets here for Solana to the upside. So if you're looking for a short-term trade, that might be your setup, and we are on the cusp of breaking here through $165 and move higher. So something else I also want to mention here, there was given a Solana trade yesterday in the alpha group. Again, you need the BloFin account and $500 in your BloFin account to get access to that, and text me or my team on Telegram or on Twitter for that. I gave the trade basically down here at around $160 was when I told everybody get in. So we are already up 3% on that trade and front ran everybody else. Here on the Wyckoff, on the bump and run pattern, also here, good moment to enter this right now. I would not wait if you want to play that bump and run pattern. You see here all the take profit targets here on the side, 207, 236, 270, 323. These are the targets here to the upside. So, because there will soon, in a couple of days, a parabolic move in Solana. That's why Solana is consolidating here right now to prep for a move like that. So I expect a move like this here. Look here, we had here consolidation and then lift off to the upside. So, and just to give you here again a reference, there was a 26% move within 3 days. Within 3 or 4 days, a 26% move in Solana. So I expect something similar to be happening once we are breaking $167 and close a 12-hourly candle above that level. Then you're going to get here a nice pump in direction of $200 quite straight away. So let's have a look here on Injective. Injective, also W pattern broke now to the upside. Technical target of the W pattern was $13.70. So we got really close to that today. We were here at $13.52 already. So if you caught that trade, amazing. Stay in it. I'm holding my trade personally too. I just try to remember where my trade is right now. Is that on BloFin, that trade? And there's my Aptos trade. Other trade. I think I have that on BloFin. Yeah, so here on BloFin is my Injective trade. So I was up here over 3,000, yeah, basically almost doubled today already. But I keep holding that, you know, I keep holding that at least to this downward sloping trend line. I want to remind you, this is a multi-month downward sloping trend line. I expect a rejection from there when we get here. But when we break that, then the next target is almost $20, $19.40. And if we break that, it's all the way back up to $30 approximately. So now, what coins should you look at if you want to get into positions? What makes the most sense? In my opinion, Ethereum layer 2 plays. You want to trade betas of Ethereum. Ethereum is alpha, and everything that's built on Ethereum is a beta play. So you want to get into beta plays because they move faster than Ethereum when Ethereum is moving. So and one of them is Arbitrum. So Arbitrum, the first time a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago, I gave you here that trade and said when we break the downward sloping trend line, get in this at 33 cents. So we are since then up over 30% on that position. Okay, roughly 30%, 29%. So many of you potentially have missed that already. So now we are breaking this ascending triangle. Don't miss the trade again, guys. So sign up on BloFin or on Bybit with the links in the description and take a trade. So because I cannot do more than present you these trades on a silver tablet. So I cannot also help you eat with a silver spoon. That you have to do yourself. So here stop loss 42.4 cents, and then the upside target is so let's take the target of that ascending triangle, because I know I had different targets, but yeah, I got close here. So here that is already a 17.4% move. So okay, from current price maybe 16.5, still worth to be taking this trade here. 16.5% to the upside, and we broke already out with a stop loss here below these recent lows from today actually. Yeah, so that's the setup, guys. That's the setup if you want to play that. So now let's go to daily chart, because there I think I had the higher targets. So if you want to go even higher than that, so here just that you see confluence again, just want to show that to you. Look here where we are at with that target of that ascending triangle. It goes straight into the next major resistance level for Arbitrum, which is up here. And look at that. A lot of wicks, resistance, resistance. We will not break through that immediately, in my opinion, when we get there. It will be, again, resistance, pullback, then break. Then we go here into the overall huge W, that bump and run pattern target of 70 cents roughly. So, but there's your trade, guys. Let me actually leave that here. That's your trade into that resistance. Then render. Was that the right chart? No, I think, let me see here. Let me see on this one here. No, it was actually the other one. Okay, just need a lower time frame. There we go. Also here, W pattern breakout, retest right now on the 4-hourly chart. This is the moment to get into a render position. If you want to trade that target all the way up here, $4.34 more or less, there's your trade, guys. There's your trade. You don't need to look at anything else right now. There's your trade setup. And you put your stop loss down here at $3.77. I don't believe that will get touched here anytime soon unless something crazy happens in the market. Okay, they ask about my order. Yes, thank you. I got everything. So, yeah, so that's what I'm looking at here for render. Render is actually teasing me a lot to take a position here. I might take a position myself here in a little bit. I'm just waiting basically for another 5% move on Aptos to get out of my Aptos trade. Yeah, and then most likely I'm going to rotate these profits into a render position. The same with here Alt USDT, also something that you should definitely have an eye on, because we are still in an accumulation phase since it launched. Look here, it launched here, where was that? Last year January, and was never really in a huge accumulation zone. Okay, here a little bit, then we got to run, but this year is bottom, so bottom accumulation zone. It is enough if you buy this here on spot. You can trade this on leverage if you want, but it would be even enough to trade this on spot. And let me show you why. In one single candle a couple of days ago, I saw that coin exploding with notifications on my phone, but I didn't really pay attention too much to it. It went up here almost 78% in one daily candle, in one day. you don't need leverage here on a coin like that if you don't want to, you know. So like I said, you can trade this on Bybit with leverage. I think also on BloFin is also leverage on that. But if you do that, do it with small amount of leverage, you know, not more than 5x, because it can bite you really quickly, you know. So imagine it spikes again like this, but then it makes a spike also to the downside. You are liquidated, you know. So just be careful with a coin like that here. But once it breaks here, 4 cents, what is it? 4 cents 0.2, that thing will start flying really quickly here to like 6 cents 0.6 roughly. So, and just to show you from the current levels, if you would start accumulating a position here, it's an 86% move to the upside. So, and this is one of the coins that will start moving here. Most likely when we break $3,300 on Ethereum, or after that Ethereum pullback, it will start running massively to the upside. Then LRC is another one. Here, multi-month downward sloping trend line just got broken today, confirmed. And here now, upside targets, you have here golden ratios on the way up at 10 cents 0.5. The level that I'm looking at is 11 cents 0.5. That is where I would start taking the first time profit, because again, massive support resistance flip line here. It was all the way here. Support here, last retest of support. Then it broke, deviation, continuation. So when it comes up here, most likely again rejection, back to the golden ratio, then break, and goes higher from there. So also here, if you would enter this right now at current levels, you are looking at a 35% move roughly to the upside. And my stop loss would be here on the previous day's low at 0.07, yeah, 7 cents 7 basically. Yeah, 7 cents 7. There's where the stop loss would be. So, and just also here to remind you, that is almost a 10% move. You know, you cannot use 10x leverage on a coin like that, you know. So I would not do that. 5x leverage is enough, you know. So when this thing moves 35% to the upside, you even with 3x leverage, you're up 100%, you know. So put some real money behind that, like $5,000. You make $5,000 in a matter of a couple of days, you know. Give it or take a week, more or less. Another one that I looked at today was ZK Sync, also W pattern, downward sloping trend line about to get broken. When that trend line gets broken, then I would still be watching here the neckline of that W pattern. Because also from there, we could get an initial rejection back to the downside. But you can trade the downward sloping trend line break into the neckline. And that's already, again, a 33.5% move to the upside. So if we break then the neckline of the W pattern, then we are looking at 12 cents 0.4. So there's over a 100% move to the upside from current price levels. If we break here, like I said, the downward sloping trend line into that target, yeah, 100 and yeah, 100.5% more or less to the upside. And also here, never ever had this coin a real bottom forming or real accumulation phase, and that's basically happening right now. So these are generational entries basically, you know. So even I would maybe even consider to hold this through a bear market with these kind of entries. It was never that low, you know, so in these low areas here before. So, and I think a project like that will not come back to these levels when we are leaving that now and go into a proper altcoin run. I know I lean here pretty far out of the window and could be heavily wrong with that, but I'm willing to take that bet. GRT, also here, about to break that support resistance flip line. If it breaks, next level, again here, neckline of the W pattern at 12 cents 0.9. There is a 25% move to the upside from here. And then I think we're looking at a 70% move from that W pattern. 18, yeah, even more, it's an 80, yeah, almost 80% move to the upside. And something about GRT moves really, really quickly when it starts moving. See here, when we were above the neckline of the W pattern, you see here how quick we moved up here into an all-time high. I think that was, I know that was not the all-time high. That was just the high from the last time when it ran. So from here to 35 cents, there was a 170% move in how much time? That is 5th of November to within a month. Within a month, we ran here 170%. Oh, sorry, there's something just happened. I think that was my girlfriend. Was she? I think my girlfriend tries to. Oh no, it should be fine. There's money. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think she used my card, but there's money on the card. I got a little bit confused. So I'm here right now, 35 minutes. I'm gonna stay a little bit longer, so don't worry, I'm not running away right now. Just something that I want to show you here. It does not really matter on which chart I go here on the daily chart, which kind I'm looking at. They're all looking the same, guys. They're all looking the same. It's so easy to chart this right now by yourself. You just take here a horizontal line, look where you get most of the touch points from the last high point here along that line, and there you're gonna place it. You know, so I could place it here, but here I have more touch points because also over here's that candle, and there you have your resistance levels. You know, so and then you go one level lower, closer to the current price, and here we are again just about to break something like this. And it's that easy to find trades right now. You know, you only need to look at stuff like that and then enter when it breaks that trend line. You know, just when it breaks the trend line and you take the previous day's low as your entry, as your stop loss, and you have a stop loss, your entry, and a take profit level, your first take profit level. And that first take profit level is over 20%. It's really that easy right now. You don't have to make it complicated. You know, it's absolutely that easy right now. And it is easy mode again, you know, so where you basically can close your eyes and just throw money at something and it will make money, you know. So we're not 100% there yet, but we're really close to that point in, from what I see. So now let me go here into the chat. Let me see here. I think I did not do optimism earlier. Yeah, optimism I can do. So Arbitrum, go back. I did this already. So, but optimism I can do quick. So your optimism, on the daily chart, not a huge fan of that doji candle here. That could reverse tomorrow, back here to like 65 cents potentially. But if it closes in green, continuation pump to the upside. So here, same thing again. Can only say it. Yeah, I cannot say anything else, guys. I have to work with what's in the chart, you know. So here, support resistance flip line that we are trying to break. If it breaks, continuation by tomorrow will most likely fly here to 91 cents. 91 cents is for a long time a target of mine for optimism on the shorter time frame. So that will be the next imminent target and can happen here like the last time within 3 days. You know, so here 3 days, bam, bam, bam. When we got over that line, it took 2 days. So 2-3 days is what I would be targeting if we close above here 71 cents today or tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. The day that we break and that we close above 71 cents, the next day it's going to start flying. Jasmine, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Jasmine because there's so low liquidity in this coin, at least on leverage. There's no fun in playing this, you know, on leverage. I can put in there like $500, you know, on like 10x leverage, I think, and that's it, you know. So if I want to use more leverage, I can use like $100. What should I do with that? You know, I live in Ukraine, you know, so everything is cheap here. But if I go out of Ukraine, what should I do with like a $50 profit? You know, so that's like lunch, you know, lunch somewhere. Like cannot change that, you know. Yeah. What should I do with this? But if you hold this on spot, it's definitely different, you know. So on spot, if you have a big spot back of this and have accumulated a lot of that on spot, then things are looking different. And that looks actually good like this. So here broke already the downward sloping trend line. Here again, You cannot make this shit up that the markets are all synchronized. All coins are synchronized. Again, W pattern, what you're looking for. W pattern. Bottom. That is altcoin season bottom that we are seeing here right now. So, and when you have altcoin season bottom, last moment where you get in before this thing starts to fly is the neckline of the W pattern. Because when it breaks, doesn't matter which coin it is, when these coins breaking these W formations, these necklines, they're gone. You know, they're gone. That's it. You know, you missed it. You know, so it's really complicated to find later a really, really good entry for the rest of the run, unless you want to start day trading. You know, so then it might be fine. But like good long-term entries, they are gone when we are breaking these necklines. So that's why I'm showing you this and telling you, just look through these coins. You know, it doesn't really matter which coin. Most of them all are forming these W patterns. And you look for coins that have not broken the neckline of the W pattern yet. So here, again, support, resistance, flip line. We have not broken this yet. We are trying to break this. So if you would enter this from here, you're still looking at a 20% move to the neckline of the W pattern. And then the overall move from the W pattern would be 7 cents higher, like 27. So that is a 50% move from current price that you look at with the target of the W pattern, roughly. Oh, Cetus. Cetus is something that I did not look at all, but I had it on my map today when I was looking at Ethereum plays. It was something that I had an eye on. Same thing, you know, same thing, just bigger. You know, that W pattern is just way more massive here. Because here is your neckline. And you have here multiple levels to watch. So here, your first level is kind of here. And then you have another one in between. So here you have basically 2 take profit points. So we'll find out. Yeah. So you can entry basically 13 cents into 17.5 cents. There I would take the first little bit chunk out and raise my stop loss to the entry, to my entry. Then the trade is risk free. You cannot lose money anymore, and you made already money. And then here neckline 23.3 cents. That's for leverage positions. You know, if you hold a spot back, keep holding it. You know, so buy Cetus and just keep holding it for the rest of the run. You know, so and let me see, was it any time higher than that? No, it wasn't. So and you start taking profit when we get to the old all-time high here to roughly 50 cents. Only there I would start taking profit. Maybe I would start, personally, I would maybe start here at 40 cents. So that I would take 10%. The first time 10% is what I would sell here, only 10%. And then I would let it run to the all-time high, and there I would take another 50% or even more, 60, 70%, and leave 20% as a moon back, you know. So, and then does not matter anymore what happens. You know, you set your stop loss to like 45, 50 cents when it is way above 50 cents and let it run. You know, if it ever kicks you out of that before you take profit, fine. You still made a shit ton of money then. If it runs like to the target that you have in mind, like $1, $2, and you take the money there, even better. So let me have a look here. Give me 1 or 2 other coins, and then I'm leaving because I actually need to iron a shirt. I have something big for tonight. So, but I'm still here. I'm still here for a coin or two, if you guys are fast enough before I'm leaving. GALA. I think GALA will have actually a decent move this year, but there was a lot of shit happening within the GALA team. There was a lot of shit happening. I had seen this nonsense from the sidelines. Do I have it actually here? It might be that I removed that out of my lists already because I thought it's went already to shit, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna check. Maybe I still have it here somewhere in my list. No, I think after what I saw on Twitter, I removed that. But okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ah, shit, wrong chart. Here we have some levels. Yeah, so here GALA, it broke already one resistance line and turned it into support, but we are basically here at the next level, and that is the more important level to me to break at 1.8 cents. If it breaks that, I can remove that line. It will go straight to 22 cents here into the neckline of the W pattern. Also can remove that. So it's an old chart. That's don't get confused with the colors here that I have. This chart might be, I don't know, 2 years old or something. Let's see, when did I draw here the last time? Yeah, it is 2 years old, you know, so roughly, I think. So here, 1.8 cents is what you're looking for to break. Then 2.2 cents is the next target. So that is, what is that? 30% move? The 23% move to the upside. If it breaks the neckline, so where are we at 12? So 6 cents higher from there, 28. So then we're looking at 28 cents as a target. Yeah, 56% then, which again is in alignment with a resistance level. So if I go up here, 28. Actually here, 27. So I would start paying attention at 27. I would potentially exit at 27, even though the target says 28 cents. So it's a cent, you know, you lose 3%, you know, 3 something percent for not going all the way to 28 cents. So while you made already over 50%, you know, I would not risk that. You know, I would just get out at 27 cents because here is definitely, again, a support resistance flip area. And I would get out there when it touches that. Unless, again, you have a spot back, then you can keep it all the way to 5 cents or even higher than that. But on leverage, that's where I would exit. Cookie. Oh, Cookie is also a good one. I cannot really remember anymore what happened with GALA exactly, but there was some nonsense going on. I think the founder was caught selling GALA or something like this. There was something going. There was internally something going on within the company. A lot of people quitted for something that somebody said in GALA, which was not appropriate. I can't remember anymore. It was a shit show. You know, it was I think a couple of months back. You know, but it was definitely a shit show. Cookie is one of the new coins. So, but also here, we are currently in a reaccumulation phase that we're just about to leave here. So here, there is that reaccumulation phase. And here you can play power of 3. Oh no, sorry, that's wrong. I need here that background there. So just to explain you quick what the power of 3 is. Power of 3 is you have a move to the downside. Basically a big correction. Then you have a move below that correction, which is technically a deviation and reaccumulation. And then you have an expansion phase. So, and that's where we are at right now. We are at the beginning of that expansion phase here for Cookie. So here I can definitely see that moving back to all-time highs and to like $1 in this bull run, roughly. So, but it just started, you know, so it just started to get into that expansion phase. When it breaks here 21 cents, it will start flying a little bit. It will start flying to like 35, 40 cents, something like that. That will be the first major target. Also in alignment here with that massive wick up here. That is where we are going. Guys, I will run now. I'm here almost again 15 minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, this is the only stream today. There will be no other stream because I will go in a little bit, pick up my girlfriend, and then we go somewhere. But you're going to get potentially 2 streams tomorrow again. Not sure, but definitely after that. Friday onwards, again, 2 streams. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.